Hello everyone, we're going to have a look at these indices now. We've talked about indices being part of the word Bidmas before, but we haven't talked about what it means or how we use them. Indices are basically these little small numbers that you see above a larger number, and you would have come across these because you would have learned square numbers or possibly cube numbers. So 3 with a little 2 above it means write the 3 down 2 times and then multiply. So 3 squared really means the number 9. Same here, we have 4 with a little 2 above it, so we write 4 down 2 times and multiply and we get 16. So 4 squared really means 16. This time you see there's a 3 above the 5, so instead of just writing it down 2 times, we write it down 3 times. This number tells you how many times to put the number down, the big number. When you multiply that out, you get 125. So 5 cubed really means 125. Now you see there's a 4 above the 10, so that means write the 10 down 4 times. Multiply in between and you will get the answer 10,000. So one of the reasons why we use indices is because when you have very large numbers, it's kind of a little shortcut way of writing the answer. So 10 to the 4 really means this number here. 1 to the 5, well, you write 1 down 5 times and multiply. And what you will find is you will get the number 1. 1 to the power of anything gives you 1, all right? 2 to the power of 6. So guess how many times you write the 2 down? You write it down 6 times. And after you write it down, you multiply in between. Now you can use a calculator, but multiplying by 2 is so easy. You should really do this in your head. And you should be doing this as I'm speaking. So 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. Times 2 is 32 times 2 is 64. 2 to the power of 6 is a way of writing 64. So that's indices, and what we're going to do is we're going to be finding questions that have indices in the middle of our Bidmas questions. So Bidmas, oh, here we go. In Bidmas, indices would be calculated after brackets, but before anything else. Because if you notice that word I is the indices word and it comes before all of these other operations but after brackets. It kind of doesn't, we'll see as we go through an example that it doesn't really affect the brackets, but it definitely comes before these other things. So here we have indice, we have multiply, and we have add. So the first thing that you would do is the indice. 5 squared is 25. Then we've got the multiply to deal with and the add. So the multiply gives you 75 and add on 2 gives you 77. Here we have a much shorter question. You have an indice and you have subtracting. So you do the indice first. So you get 9. 3 squared is 9. 16 take away 9 is 7. Phone is going a bit. Next question. So we have 19 add 2 cubed times 4. So we have an indice, we have multiply, and we have add. So we do the indice first, which gives us 8. Copy the rest of it down. And now we do the multiply, because remember multiply comes before adding, so that gives you 32. Copy it down. And then we add at the end. So 19 add 32 is 51. Next example, we have indice, we have multiply, and we have subtraction. Indice must be done first. So then we do the multiply, which is 75. And at the end, we do the takeaway. And when you take 75 away from 170, you get 95. Next example, we have indices, adding and multiplying. Indice comes first. Then multiplying is done next. And finally adding, and you get the answer 50. We have indice, we have takeaway, and we have a divide. So indice must be done first. Then we'll do the dividing. And finally at the end we do the subtracting, and we get 22. Now here we have an example with brackets as well as indices, takeaway and dividing. So brackets must always be done first. So you go to the brackets. Now inside the brackets you have 49 take away 29, which is basically 20. Then we're going to do the dividing, and that will give you 3. Here we have indices, adding and dividing. So indices done first, 121. Then dividing is done to give you a 2. And finally adding 123. Okay, so just to go over, remember this word Bidmas. B means brackets. I is indices, which we've just done. D is divide. M is multiply, A is add, S is subtract. It gives you the order that you must work things out in. And now you're going to have to think about this I. It's going to come up in some questions. And indices are these little numbers that come above, okay? And we know how to work them out because we did a little bit of that at the start. The little number tells you how many times to write the number down, and then you multiply. It's 2, you write it down twice. It's 5, you write down 5 times. It's 4, you write down 4 times. And you multiply after that. Okay?